So يا أولاد after Portugal we're gonna discuss Spain. King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. Both of them agreed to fund Columbus' expedition to go to discover a new sea route to reach India by sailing west. Of course, keep in your mind that at that time, all of them are fully sure that the earth is round, it's not flat. Okay? So he sailed west. They agreed to fund his expedition and they gave him 3 ships and they sailed west by going west. After 3 months in the middle of the sea, he managed to reach a group of islands, especially Hawaii. So over there, he saw the natives. Of course, he was convinced, and this is the most common mistake in history. He was convinced until his death, by the way, that he founded a new sea route to reach India. So he called all the natives over there Indians. Of course, he's holding a cross for one of his missions. Can you remind me? Can you remind what are the 4 main reasons of exploration? Quickly. Who can tell me that? Well, thank
Christianity,
you.
Christianity
Christianity,
and such.
discovery,
discovery or
curiosity,
curiosity. Yes,
Curiosity.
another one.
money,
Wealth.
money,
Wealth is money.
wealth, yeah, wealth.
So
And
wealth, curiosity,
Mr.
Christianity, the last one.
Their king's what he wanted. He wanted to grant.
Why you are talking about Columbus now after
Oh no.
a lot of centuries? Thank you very much. Fame and glory. So he's holding a cross in his hand in order to spread Christianity. ماشي? Of course, it was a huge achievement. It was a major success for his expedition. So he brought some of bizarre things with him in order to go back to Spain. Okay? So he brought with him some parrots. Of course, this bird was not familiar to the Europeans at that time. So he brought some parrots with him. And also he brought some jewelry from the natives over there. And also he brought some tomatoes. So the Europeans had no idea about this fruit. Let me ask you something. Tomatoes, is it a fruit or a vegetable?
Fruit.
Fruit. But why you are using it as a vegetable? Have you
Because
asked yourself
fruits are
this
مصر
usually
ما احنا
sweeter.
الشعب المصري كل حاجه بنستخدمها غلط.
Mister, because
So
I think
only the
because,
Egyptians are using tomatoes as vegetables and the rest of the world is eating it as a dessert?
Mister, I think it's because usually fruits are sweeter and tomato isn't as sweet as the others, so they consider it a vegetable.
طيب, in order to solve this dilemma يا أولاد, according to the people interested in this field, according to science, tomatoes are fruits. But according to chefs, tomatoes are vegetables. Okay, please, if you are not using your mic, mute it because of the echo. Okay, guys? Mr. Echo, thank you. So he brought with him parrots, jewelry, tomatoes. يعني try to imagine يا أولاد the Italian cuisine without tomatoes. Pizza, pasta. Yes, especially full sauce. يعني of course you cannot make it. يعني try to imagine every single item in the Italian cuisine without tomatoes. They brought the tomatoes from the new discovered land. And also يا أولاد, the most important thing that he brought with him from the new founded land, he brought some natives with him so the Europeans can see them. And of course, over there in Europe, يا أولاد, he introduced them to the Pope over there, so he simply baptized them, or he turned their faith to be Christians. And of course, يا أولاد, they hailed him as a hero. He was a national hero at that time. He made a huge discovery. During his life, he made 3 journeys to the new founded land. Until his death, he was convinced that he really discovered a new route to reach India. This is for Columbus, يا أولاد. But keep in your mind that he was Italian, but he was sailing for Spain because simply the Italian king refused to fund his expedition. Any questions for Christopher Columbus until now?
Clear, mister.
Okay, so it's my turn to ask. يا زياد, although he was Italian navigator, why he was sailing for Spain? Ziad, Saleh, or Salah?
Yes, Mister.
Yes, can you please give me a little bit of hint here?
Mister, like you want to make a big finding about the world. You want to be like have a big name.
Thank you very much, Ziad, but it's a wrong answer. Have you heard my question, Ziad?
Yes.
Okay, طيب.
Sir,
Our newcomer, يا ملهم. Our newcomer,
اتفضل يا مستر اتفضل.
ملهم, although he was an Italian sailor, why he was sailing for Spain?
Italian. Maybe
Yes.
he wants to play with them, make a good.
You wanna play in
I want to play.
Barcelona?
Yes, make a good relationship
What?
between
Yes.
them.
ملهم, have you
Hey,
heard
يا
me
مستر.
at the beginning of the session?
عيد تاني.
عيد تاني. Anas, do you have any idea?
mister, can I
The
answer?
question, can you say
لا
the
wait يا
question
عبد
again?
الرحمن. Anas لؤي.
Can you repeat the question?
The question is, although Columbus was an Italian sailor, why he was sailing for Spain?
I don't know.
هو اسمه ايه يا
والله يا
مستر؟
ولاد والله
اسمه
يا
ايه؟
ولاد
اسمه ايه؟
اسمه
اه اسمه.
Christopher Columbus. والله يا ولاد يعني I have said this issue twice,
Mister, can I answer?
couple of minutes ago. طب
Easy.
ثواني يا ولاد ثواني. عمر الحسن,
Yes.
the same question.
Mister,
Do
he
you need
offered.
me to repeat the question?
No, I know it. He
Okay.
offered to Italy first of all. He asked if if they wanted to take him, they said they refused. So
Thank you
he
very
went to
much.
Spain.
Thank you very much, Omar. You are my hero. So first of all, because all of the class, please listen up. This is my third time to say this issue. Although he was an Italian citizen, an Italian sailor, so logically, first of all, he asked his Italian king to fund his expedition to go to discover the world by sailing west. But the Italian king simply refused. He said, no, you are a mad sailor. So he went to Spain, King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella, and they agreed
طب
to
ما انا
fund
قلت
his
كده عامة يا مستر.
who's talking?
مؤمن.
Moment?
اه
Have you said that, Mulhim?
قلت كل الكلام ده حرف حرف.
ريليشن شيب.
Sure.
حضرتك قلدتني عامة يا مستر. حضرتك واخدها مني انا الإجابة دي.
I will go back to the recording, but I thought you're gonna tell me a whole new story, regardless of this fact that I have just told you. طيب يا مؤمن, please pay me some attention. Try to imagine, يا أولاد, that if King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella refused to fund his expedition, I think the discovery of the new founded land will take much more time. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, let's go on, يا أولاد. King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella. So this is for Spain, only Columbus, or we still have more Spanish sailors. Let's see. Amerigo Vespucci. Sorry?
They put America after him.
Yes, exactly. So after Columbus's death, okay, يا أولاد, all of his life, يا أولاد, Columbus had made 3 journeys to the new founded land. After almost 9 years of his death, Amerigo Vespucci discovered his mistake by sailing to the southern tip of South America. And I need to ask Fahd. Where is Fahd? Fahd الهميل.
عيون يا مستر I'm here.
Fahd, have a closer look at this map يا Fahd, okay?
Yes.
What we gonna call this tip of the continent?
The Cape of Hope.
لا only Cape, because Cape of Hope is related to Africa يا Fahd.
Yeah,
But
sorry.
only this tip is called Cape, okay?
Okay.
Thank you very much Fahd. So Amerigo Vespucci يا أولاد, by sailing south, he simply discovered his mistake. It's not Asia. It's a new founded land. Later on, يا أولاد, when they, until now, keep in your mind, they know only this part of the new founded land, and this one too. But the rest of this shape, they had no idea. ماشي؟ And step by step.
السؤال
So
ده يا مستر، هم ماشيين جنبها، يعني ازاي مش شايفين ان دي جزيرة جنبهم يلاقوهم في
لا
اخرها؟
لا 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 يعني مثلا يا keep in your mind يعني they are using this route ماشي, so they will start drawing this line, but what's over there they had no idea. ماشي, يعني they are sailing next to the coast, so they can simply have a closer look and start to draw the map. Get the idea?
اه تمام.
Okay, so Amerigo Vespucci later on, when the map makers finished this map, they honored him by giving the new founded land his name. Balboa. Balboa يا أولاد, the third Spanish navigator we will talk about. Balboa's achievement was simply, he thought, of course يا أولاد, he will use the map of his friend Amerigo Vespucci. طيب, his friend had made only 2 voyages. He discovered this part, the red one, and the yellow one. So he used his mind. Oh, here is no land. Maybe there is a way here that I can simply cross this newfounded land. This was his idea. Of course, they had no idea or what's the shape of this newfounded land. So he simply went inside, hoping that he will reach the other part of this newfoundland land. But unfortunately, what's the name of the city here? There is a very famous canal at this part. Do you have any idea, Olet? Who can help me here?
The Grand Canal, sir.
Goes down there.
The what? One by one, so I can hear you.
The Grand Canal has the.
The Grand Canal? No.
مستر، هو حضرتك
بنما.
الأسئلة اللي بتسألها احنا خدناها صح؟
It's general knowledge يا أولاد.
لا لا يا مو.
طب
لا
let
أصل
me
إيه
give you
الكنال
let me give you a
هعرفه منين
hint.
أنا
Let me
الكنال
give you a
ده؟
hint. ماشي? This canal,
اتفضل.
by linking
Right.
the 2 oceans, the sea level is different. So the ship must enter some kind of elevator. So the ship will simply enter and the ship will be lifted to go to the other side. You didn't see this issue in TV? يا ولاد والله, it's general knowledge.
We saw
Starts
it
with
بس
a
ما
P.
اعرفش اسمها يا مستر.
What's the name of this canal? Starts with a P. There is a
Panama.
city over
Panama.
there. Thank you very much. يعني I think it's general knowledge يا ولاد. The Panama Canal. ماشي؟ يبقى Balboa, he simply managed to reach Panama. ماشي؟ طيب. What was his achievement? He was the first human being to see the Pacific Ocean.
Oof.
So
He
by
didn't
standing here, he was the first one in the entire humankind, by the way, to see and to notice the Pacific Ocean. And he said, and he concluded, in order to reach Asia, there is another ocean we should pass. Got the idea, أولاد? So it's step by step. Americo Vespucci, his achievement was simply he discovered Columbus's mistake. Balboa's achievement, he was the first one to see the Pacific Ocean, this ocean. ماشي? And he gave it this name, Pacific, because it was peaceful, calm water, without any strong waves like the Atlantic.
They
He
call
gave
it
it this name.
المحيط الهادئ. نفس
Yes, exactly, because it's peaceful, not like the Atlantic one. ماشي? And of course, يا أولاد, because he gave it this title, because of his honor, because of his discovery, we're still using the title until now. ماشي؟ طيب. So,
what's the title? What's the title?
Pacific, peaceful. ماشي؟
Okay. And
طيب.
Mr. This guy,
Yeah.
Fred, he discovered that the world is or the Earth is round.
لا لا لا. Before يا أولاد, before Columbus's journey, they already knew that the Earth is round, not flat. They had concluded this issue earlier. So according to his calculations, he convinced the king and queen that he can simply sail west. Why? Because the earth is round, not flat. ماشي? Later on, يا أولاد, later on, inshallah, we're gonna discuss a lesson about the scientific revolution, and we will discuss this issue about the earth is flat or round. I will tell you something about that maybe later on during this session of the scientific revolution. ماشي? But until now, let's keep in our mind that the earth is already round. طيب. Americo Vespucci discovered Columbus's mistake. Balboa, the first one to see the Pacific Ocean. طيب. After knowing this fact, there is another ocean we must cross in order to reach Asia. So Magellan took this fact and he started to set up to sail west across the Pacific Ocean. طيب. If you notice, he will use the same route like Americo Vespucci. ماشي? He will use the same route because he knows the map. Because of course, they are sharing the maps together because all of them are sailing under the Spanish flag. ماشي? So they will simply share the information. So he will sail west. ماشي? By the way, he started the journey with 5 ships and 250 sailors. Every single one of them, and here I'm talking about the sailors, said that you are a mad guy. They are talking to Magellan. It's a suicide mission. Why you wanna go cross the Pacific Ocean? We had no idea what's over there. Maybe we're gonna find a lot of sea monsters will eat us alive. Okay? The normal myth or the traditional myth, which I told you about at the beginning of the lesson. So they started, يا أولاد, their journey. ماشي? Of course, during the journey, the navigators, the crew of Magellan's mutinied, and he killed some of them, and even threw some of them in the middle of the ocean. ماشي? Mutant, يعني something like rebellion. Okay? طيب. And there was some kind of food shortage. So ships are made of food. So of course you can find a lot of rats over there. They started to eat rats instead of being dead. Eventually, they managed to reach Philippines. Now I want to ask you a smart question. from your point of view يا أولاد, how long did this journey took? Starting point.
From 1519 to 1522.
So how many years, Mr. Smart Guy?
3 years.
3 years. 3 full years. ماشي. Ironically, when this expedition reached Philippines, they were engaged in a fight with the natives, and Magellan was killed over there in Philippines. ماشي. One of his crew, only one, with 18 sailors out of 250 أولاد. They started with 250 and 5 ships. Only one of his crew and 18 sailors managed to go back to Spain. يعني Magellan didn't physically complete the journey, but it was his idea. It was his achievement. This is honesty, and this is fame and glory. So his accomplishment, his achievement is that he was the first human being to circumnavigate the globe. Circumnavigate is simply to go around the globe. Do you see honesty, أولاد, in his history? Although he was killed over there in Philippines and he did not physically manage to reach Spain to finish up his journey, but we are still accrediting him for his achievement. What was his achievement, يا أولاد? That he was the first one to circumnavigate the globe. Now, please, I want to ask Bilal. Bilal.
Yes.
What was the achievement of Balboa, ya Bilal?
He was the first person to see the Pacific Ocean, and
Thank
also
you
the.
very much. For مشهور, Mr. Famous. The achievement
Yes,
of Americo
Mr. Yes.
Vespucci. Americo Vespucci, what was his achievement?
1 minute, Mr.
لا, I do not have that time. Americo Vespucci, and the map is in front of you. What's his achievement?
Mister,
Yes?
there was a mistake he did. What was the mistake?
The most common mistake in history. The mistake of this guy. Who's this guy, by the way?
He thought America to be India.
Mister, he discovered South America.
Columbus's mistake. ماشي يا مشهور? Because when Columbus reached the States, reached the Americas, he thought that he had already reached India. For this reason, he named all the natives over there Indians. England. Okay, so until now, ya أولاد, keep in your mind, we are done with Portugal and with Spain. Now it's time for England. And England is easy. And I will tell you how. So the first English sailor who started to sail out to discover the new founded land. ماشي? John Cabot. He sailed from England to North America. But the same like Columbus, he thought that he had already found India. He had no idea that it's a new founded land. The same like Columbus's mistake, John Cabot. So he went back to England. Yes, I have made a huge achievement. I have discovered India by sailing west. And he set up for another journey. ماشي? Unfortunately, the second journey didn't go back to England. Probably sunk. ماشي؟ Okay, أولاد?
Yes.
Sir Francis Drake. طيب. Now they figure out after the rumors, after the news spread in Europe, they had already founded the fact that it's It's not India. It's a new found land. And the Spanish already draw this part of the map. If we go back, the Spanish يا أولاد simply draw this part of the map and they use it a lot. طيب, we want to continue the drawing. We want to continue the map. So the English queen simply asked the English sailor, Sir Francis Drake, finish up this map. Sail around the newfound land. We want to figure it out, how it looks like. Okay? So he started his journey and he used the same route, the same sea route of the Spanish. And he go all the way. He wished that he can complete his drawing and go back to England. But unfortunately, especially at this part, by the way, in the States, يا أولاد, where are you gonna find? California. So he stopped here and he couldn't sail north anymore. Why?
Ice.
Of course, here you're gonna find Alaska. Because of the ice, he couldn't continue his journey. So he simply decided to sail west. And he was the second human being to circumnavigate the globe after Magellan. Okay? يبقى his achievement يا أولاد, we can say that he is the second human being to circumnavigate the globe. But of course, the fame and glory for circumnavigation will not be like the first one. By the way, who was the first one to circumnavigate the globe?
Magellan.
Magellan, thank you very much. Henry Hudson. And he's famous for his name, by the way. Although he was Dutch, so he came from, who's gonna help me here? Dutch.
ايرن لا مش ايرن ثاني
Ireland, so he's gonna be Irish. But here I said Dutch.
Germany.
نيذرلاند.
لا اسمها ايه
Denmark.
دي اللي امستردام فيها نيذرلاندز
Netherlands or Holland. ماشي؟
نيذرلاند.
So يا أولاد, Hudson is a Dutch sailor, but he was sailing for England. ماشي؟ طيب, Hudson had an idea يا أولاد. Why all the previous sailors simply sail to the south? Let me sail to the north so I can reach Asia this way, right? So theoretical talking, it can be done. I will simply go the other direction to sail and to go over there to India. Theoretically talking, it's doable, but in the real life, unfortunately, he couldn't go more further. What do you think?
Because of the ice.
Of course, because of the ice. And he simply went back to England without any single achievement. ماشي؟ طيب, يبقى for England يا أولاد, John Cabot. His achievement that we can say that he discovered Canada. A small part of it. And he thought that he discovered a shorter sea route to Asia. Francis Drake, he want to continue the map, and his achievement was he was the second human being to circumnavigate the globe or to sail around the world.
ماشي بس ما ماتش يا مستر.
Yes, Francis Drake, yes, he didn't die. But who took the advantage? Who took the lead? Who have got the idea at the beginning? Magellan.
Mr. Cabot did what again?
Cabot, he discovered a small part of Canada, but he thought that he discovered a shorter route to India.
Okay, thank you.
ماشي. Henry Hudson simply did nothing. يعني he had an idea to sail to the northeast in order to reach Asia. But unfortunately, he couldn't do it. A Dutch sailor, but he sailed for England. France. So France want to join the race. France wanna go to the discovery area. Jacques Cartier. Jacques Cartier simply, if you remember, John Cabot discovered this part. When he went to the second journey, he didn't go back.
Yes,
So
but he discovered Canada.
not all of it, only a small part of it. And he went to the second journey to continue his discovery. But unfortunately, he didn't went back. So Jacques Cartier used the same route, and he went deeper a little bit to discover this piece of the world. Later on, by the way, he claimed this piece of the land for France. But this is my achievement. This is my discovery. ماشي؟
Mr.
عندي أولاد.
That's
عندي
why in
أولاد.
Canada, they're the main city, they speak French, most of them.
Until now. And then I will tell you what really happened in Canada. But because the French used to colonize this part of North America. This is the reason that most of them were talking French as a second language. طيب يبقى جاك كارتيه يا أولاد, we can say that he discovered Canada. ماشي؟ Netherlands, our friend Henry Hudson. ماشي? But now he's sailing for his home country, Netherlands. Nowadays, if you open the map, if you open the atlas, you will not find Netherlands. You will find Holland. ماشي? Both of them are the same يا أولاد. We are talking about the same country here, Netherlands and Holland. ماشي? So Henry Hudson, he will continue the discovery. There is a river for his name, Hudson River, and also the Hudson Bay for his honor, because he discovered this area يا أولاد. ماشي? There is an issue here that he hoped by this discovery, the Hudson River, he can simply go along the river until he can reach the other side of the continent. But unfortunately, it was a mistake. Nothing like that.
طب مستر سؤال،
اتفضل.
العرب فين؟
Arabs?
اه
Here, in this part of the world.
لا يعني فين انجازاتهم
بعيد يس مش هنا.
لا, they were not interested for مثلا for this issue.